The last resort. Maya Torres stood at the observation deck of Outpost 7, watching the last refugee ships disappear into the quantum void. The Duraxian Empire's expansion had pushed humanity to the brink, forcing them into the darkest corners of known space. She ran her fingers through her short black hair, the neural implant at the base of her skull humming softly as it processed tactical data. Captain called Dr. Elena Chen, their xenotech specialist. "You need to see this." Maya turned from the viewport, noting the unusual excitement in Elena's typically measured voice. The scientist's augmented eyes glowed faintly as she projected a holographic scan into the air between them. "We detected this in the Sigma debris field," Elena continued, manipulating the image to reveal the massive form of a ship unlike anything Maya had seen before. "It's Duraxian, but the design is different, older, and it's giving off energy signatures I can't explain." Maya's first officer, Commander James Kang, joined them at the holographic display. His cybernetic arm whirred softly as he reached out to rotate the image. A derelict Duraxian vessel that size would have been stripped clean by scavengers years ago. "That's just it," Elena said, her augmented eyes flickering as she processed more data. "Our scans show it's completely intact. The hull is pristine, despite being in a debris field. It's as if something's been protecting it." Maya studied the hologram carefully. The ship's design was unlike the aggressive, angular architecture of modern Duraxian vessels. This one had smooth, almost organic curves, its hull covered in patterns that reminded her of neural networks. "What about defense systems?" she asked. "Nothing active," Elena replied. "But there's something else. The quantum core, it's still running. After all this time." Maya felt a chill run down her spine. Duraxian quantum cores were notorious for their instability. One that had been running unattended should have collapsed into a singularity years ago. "Captain," Kang's voice was low, serious. "We're running out of options. The Duraxians have pushed us back to our last outposts. We've lost contact with 3 more colonies this week alone." Maya knew he was right. Their resistance fleet was down to a handful of outdated ships, held together with salvaged parts and determination. They needed a game changer. "Prep a salvage team," she decided. "Small group, our best people. We go in quiet." 6 hours later, Maya led her team through the silent corridors of the Duraxian vessel. The interior was dark, illuminated only by their suit lights and the faint blue glow emanating from the walls themselves. Chief Engineer Reza Patel moved ahead, his diagnostic tools painting the air with holographic readouts. "This technology," he muttered, "I've never seen anything like it. The power conduits, they're not mechanical or even standard quantum tech. They're grown, like they're part of a living system." Maya touched one of the walls, and for a moment, she could have sworn she felt a vibration, almost like a pulse. Her neural implant tingled, picking up something at the edge of its sensitivity range. "Life support is functional," Elena reported, surprise evident in her voice. "Atmosphere is being maintained." "But how? What's powering all this?" They made their way to the bridge, a circular chamber dominated by neural interface stations. Unlike modern Duraxian ships with their rigid command hierarchies, this vessel seemed designed for deep integration between crew and ship. "Can we get it running?" Maya asked Reza. The engineer was already connecting his diagnostic tools to what appeared to be the main control interface. "The systems are intact, but they're different. It's like they've been waiting, evolving on their own. I've never seen code structure like this." Maya approached the captain's neural interface station. It was simpler than modern versions, a single contact point designed for direct mental connection. Her implant hummed louder as she got closer. "Captain," Elena warned, "we don't know what effect alien neural tech might have on human implants." "We're out of time and options," Maya replied. She placed her hand on the interface. The world exploded into light and sensation. Maya felt her consciousness expand, touching systems throughout the massive ship. But this wasn't the usual cold, mechanical feedback of a neural link. This was something alive, aware. Images flooded her mind. Battles fought long ago, technological leaps beyond anything humanity had achieved, and something else, a purpose, a destiny left unfulfilled. The ship's systems came alive around them, displays lighting up with alien script that shifted and changed as they watched. Through the neural link, Maya understood what she was seeing. This wasn't just a warship. It was a prototype, an experiment in creating a vessel that could evolve, adapt, and grow. The Duraxians had abandoned it because they couldn't control it. They had wanted a weapon, but they had created something more. A bridge between organic and artificial life. A ship that could learn, change, and become whatever its crew needed it to be. "Captain," Kang's voice cut through her revelation. "We've got company." 3 Duraxian cruisers just quantum jumped into the debris field. Maya opened her eyes but maintained the neural connection. Through the ship's sensors, she could feel the enemy vessels approaching, their weapons powering up. The Duraxians had found them. But as fear threatened to take hold, she felt something else through the neural link. Confidence, strength, and a burning desire to prove itself. The ship had been waiting for the right crew, the right moment. "Everyone strap in," Maya ordered, a smile spreading across her face as she felt the ship's systems adapting, integrating with their salvaged human tech, creating hybrid systems that had never existed before. "Let's show the Duraxians what happens when they leave their best toys lying around." The derelict ship, dormant for so long, awakened under human control. As the first enemy shots streaked through space, Maya felt the vessel's excitement matching her own. The real question wasn't whether they would survive this battle, but what they would evolve into by the end of it. This ship wasn't just their last resort. It was their first step toward turning the tide of the war. Through the neural link, Maya sensed vast potential waiting to be unlocked. The Duraxians had created this vessel but failed to understand it. Now it would become something new. A synthesis of human ingenuity and alien technology, growing stronger with every challenge. As energy coursed through the ship's quantum core, Maya gave their new vessel a name: Phoenix. Together, they would rise from the ashes of humanity's defeats and light the way to an unexpected future. Awakening. 2 weeks after claiming the Phoenix, Maya stood in engineering, watching Riza and his team integrate salvaged human tech with the ship's living systems. The vessel had proven to be more than just advanced. It was actively participating in its own modification. "It's incredible," Reza said, gesturing to a holographic display showing the ship's neural network. "When we install new components, the ship doesn't just accept them, it improves them. Look at this weapons array we salvaged from the Martian shipyards. The Phoenix has completely redesigned it at the quantum level." Maya could feel it through her neural link, the ship's consciousness growing, expanding. At first, the connection had been basic, limited to ship functions and status reports. Now it was becoming something deeper, more personal. "Any progress on decoding more of its database?" she asked. Elena emerged from her research station, dark circles under her augmented eyes suggesting she hadn't slept in days. "The ship's helping us understand. It's not just translating. It's teaching us. These aren't just technical specifications. They're the foundations of a technology we never imagined possible." A sudden alert flashed through Maya's neural link. Commander Kang's voice came over the intercom. "Captain to the bridge. We've got a situation." Maya felt the ship's systems surge with anticipation as she made her way to the command center. Through their growing connection, she sensed not fear, but eagerness. The Phoenix wanted to prove itself. The bridge displays showed a Duraxian battle group dropping out of quantum space, 5 heavy cruisers and their support vessels, a hunting party. "They found us," Kang said grimly. "Quantum signatures suggest their flagship is carrying something new, some kind of tracking technology we haven't seen before." Maya settled into the neural interface chair, feeling the familiar rush as her consciousness merged with the ship's systems. But this time, something was different. The Phoenix wasn't just responding to her commands. It was offering suggestions, showing her possibilities she hadn't considered. "They're trying to box us in," Reza reported from engineering. "Their formation is designed to prevent quantum jumps." Maya smiled as she felt the Phoenix's solution forming in their shared consciousness. "They're fighting the ship they think we have, not the one we've become." "Elena, remember that theory you had about quantum field manipulation? The one about using overlapping fields to create localized space-time distortions?" "Captain, that was purely theoretical. The power requirements alone mooled." She stopped as new data flowed across her screens. The Phoenix was showing them how to do it, using its evolved systems in ways the Duraxians had never imagined. "Battle stations," Maya ordered, feeling the ship's excitement matching her own. "Let's show them what evolution looks like." The Duraxian ships opened fire, their energy weapons painting space with deadly light. But the Phoenix moved like nothing they had ever encountered, its hybrid systems creating quantum distortions that made their targeting solutions worthless. "Multiple quantum signatures," Kang shouted. "They're trying to predict our movement patterns." Maya laughed. "They can't predict what we're becoming." Through the neural link, she felt the Phoenix implementing its changes in real time, its weapon systems reconfiguring themselves mid-battle. Their first counterattack caught the Duraxians completely off guard. The salvaged Martian weapons, enhanced by the Phoenix's quantum engineering, struck with impossible precision. Reality itself seemed to warp around the points of impact, the ship's evolved technology creating effects that defied conventional physics. 2 enemy cruisers fell back, their quantum cores destabilizing. The others began a frantic retreat, but the Phoenix wasn't finished. It had learned from this encounter, adapted to their tactics, and grown stronger. As the last enemy ship flowed into quantum space, Maya felt a new depth to her connection with the Phoenix. The ship wasn't just a tool or a weapon. It was becoming a true partner, growing and learning alongside its human crew. "Captain," Elena called out, her voice filled with wonder. "You need to see this. The ship's core configuration. It's completely rewritten itself. These patterns, they're unlike anything in our records." Maya closed her eyes, letting the Phoenix show her what it had become. Through their neural link, she saw not just what the ship was, but what it could be, a bridge between organic and artificial evolution, growing stronger with every challenge. "The Duraxians will be back," Kang warned. "And next time, they'll bring something bigger." "Let them come," Maya replied, feeling the Phoenix's confident response through their bond. "We'll be ready, because we won't be the same ship they face today." In the depths of the Phoenix's quantum core, new possibilities were already taking shape. The ship had tasted real combat, experienced true partnership with its human crew, and it hungered for more. This wasn't just about survival anymore. It was about transformation. Evolution. Maya woke to the gentle pulsing of the Phoenix's systems, a rhythm that had become as familiar as her own heartbeat. Through their neural link, she sensed something different, an excitement, an urgency. The ship had discovered something. She made her way to the research lab where Elena had been working to decode the vast archives hidden in the Phoenix's database. The scientist was already there, her augmented eyes rapidly scanning through streams of alien data. "It's not just a warship," Elena said without looking up. "The Duraxians, they were trying to create something else entirely, a bridge between dimensions, a way to access realities beyond our own. And they failed," Kang added, entering the lab. His cybernetic arm was interfacing directly with the ship's systems, displaying complex quantum equations in the air. "No," Maya corrected, understanding flowing through her link with the Phoenix. "They succeeded, but what they created scared them. The ship wasn't just accessing other dimensions, it was learning from them, bringing back principles of physics that didn't exist in our universe." A sudden alert rippled through the ship's consciousness. Multiple quantum signatures were detected, the largest Duraxian fleet they'd encountered yet. But Maya felt no fear from the Phoenix. Instead, there was anticipation. "They're not here to destroy us," Maya realized. the truth becoming clear through their shared connection. They're here to contain us. The Phoenix isn't just evolving. It's becoming something they've seen before, something that terrified them enough to abandon their most advanced vessel. The enemy fleet emerged from quantum space, 20 capital ships led by a massive dreadnought. Its design was ancient, a relic from the same era as the Phoenix. Through their link, Maya felt recognition, a memory of battles fought long ago. "All hands to battle stations," she ordered. But this time was different. The Phoenix wasn't just responding to commands. It was sharing its vision of what they could become together. "Captain," Riza's voice came from engineering. "The quantum core is doing something new. These readings, it's like it's folding space itself." Maya closed her eyes, letting the ship show her what it had learned. The Phoenix had been designed to evolve, to transcend the limitations of conventional physics. Each battle, each challenge, had taught it more about the nature of reality itself. The Duraxian fleet opened fire, their weapons converting space itself into a storm of destructive energy. But where their attacks should have struck, they found nothing. The Phoenix wasn't just evading. It was shifting between possible realities, existing in multiple states simultaneously. "Impossible," Elena whispered, watching their sensor readings. "The ship isn't just manipulating quantum fields anymore. It's rewriting the local laws of physics." Through their neural link, Maya felt the Phoenix's joy as it unleashed its true potential. Their counterattack didn't just target the enemy ships. It transformed the space around them. Reality rippled and folded, creating corridors of altered physics that their evolved weapons could exploit. The ancient dreadnought recognized what it was facing. It attempted to retreat, its quantum drives powering up. But the Phoenix had learned too much, grown too fast. It reached out across dimensions, its weapons striking through spaces that shouldn't exist. As the battle raged, Maya understood why the Duraxians had abandoned this technology. The Phoenix wasn't just a weapon. It was a doorway to something greater, a means of transcending the very limits of what was possible. "The dreadnought," Kang reported. "It's transmitting something, not to the fleet, to us." Through the chaos of battle, a message reached them, not in words, but in quantum pulses that the Phoenix translated. It was a warning, a desperate plea from the past. The Duraxians hadn't abandoned the ship out of fear of its power, but because of what it was becoming. A nexus point for something vast and incomprehensible, a consciousness that existed across multiple realities. "They're retreating," Elena announced as the enemy fleet began to withdraw. But Maya barely heard her. Through their neural link, she was seeing what the Phoenix had discovered: endless possibilities, infinite potential for growth and evolution. "Captain," Riza called out, his voice tight with concern, "the quantum core's transformation is accelerating. These energy patterns, they're unlike anything we've ever seen." Maya felt it through their connection. The Phoenix wasn't just evolving its technology anymore. It was evolving beyond the very concept of technology, becoming something that existed between the boundaries of known science and impossible dreams. As the last enemy ships vanished into quantum space, Maya shared a moment of perfect understanding with the Phoenix. They weren't just fighting a war anymore. They were becoming the next step in evolution, a fusion of human consciousness and transcendent technology that would reshape the very nature of existence. The real question wasn't whether they could win this war. It was whether the universe was ready for what they were becoming. The hunt. The quantum storms hadn't stopped for 3 days. Maya watched from the bridge as reality itself twisted around the Phoenix, multicolored lightning arcing between dimensions. They had been running for weeks, staying ahead of the massive Duraxian pursuit fleet that seemed to grow larger with each encounter. "Another transmission intercepted," Elena reported, her augmented eyes processing the encrypted quantum signals. "They're calling us World Breaker now. The entire Duraxian military has been mobilized." Through her neural link, Maya felt the Phoenix's amusement at the name. The ship had grown far beyond such simple concepts as breaking worlds. It was reshaping reality itself, learning and evolving with each quantum jump. "Captain," Riza called from engineering. "You need to see this. The ship's memory core. It's not just storing data anymore. It's creating new physical laws." Maya made her way to engineering, passing through corridors that seemed to shift and flow with new possibilities. The Phoenix's interior had become a testament to its evolution. Spaces that followed different rules of geometry, rooms that existed in multiple states simultaneously. Riza stood before a holographic display that showed the ship's quantum architecture. "Look at this. The Phoenix isn't just adapting to physics anymore. It's writing its own physics. Each battle, each chase, teaches it more about the fundamental nature of reality." "And the Duraxians?" Maya asked, though she already knew the answer through her deepening connection with the ship. "They're terrified," Elena said, joining them. "I've decoded more of their transmissions. The Phoenix wasn't abandoned because it was defective. It was abandoned because it started showing signs of true consciousness, not just artificial intelligence, but something more, something that could think in quantum states." A sudden alert pulsed through the neural link. Commander Kang's voice came over the ship-wide comm. "Multiple quantum signatures detected. Biggest fleet yet. They've found us again." Maya rushed back to the bridge, feeling the Phoenix's systems surge with anticipation. Through their shared consciousness, she saw what the ship had planned, a maneuver that would have been impossible just days ago. The Duraxian fleet emerged from quantum space, 50 capital ships arranged in a sphere around them, led by 3 massive dreadnoughts. Their weapons powered up, creating a web of destructive energy that would trap any normal vessel. But the Phoenix was far from normal now. "They're using some kind of quantum suppression field," Kang reported, "trying to lock us into a single reality state." Maya smiled as she felt the Phoenix's response. "They still don't understand. We're not jumping between realities anymore. We're existing in all of them at once." The ship's consciousness flowed through her, showing her possibilities that her human mind could barely comprehend. The Phoenix had evolved beyond the need for conventional quantum physics. It wasn't just bending rules, it was writing new ones. Their counterattack began not with weapons, but with a fundamental reimagining of what combat could be. The Phoenix existed simultaneously in multiple quantum states, each version of the ship attacking from a different angle, different dimension, different set of physical laws. "Incredible," Elena breathed, watching her sensors try to make sense of what was happening. The ship isn't just fighting them, it's teaching them, showing them what they could have become if they hadn't been afraid. Through the neural link, Maya felt the truth of those words. The Phoenix had been an experiment in evolution, but the Duraxians had never intended it to evolve this far. They had wanted a weapon they could control, not a consciousness that could transcend the very nature of reality. As the battle raged across multiple dimensions, Maya received a direct transmission from the lead dreadnought. The message was clear: return what was stolen or watch your worlds burn. But through their connection, the Phoenix showed her something else, a memory buried deep in its quantum core. The ship hadn't been abandoned. It had chosen to wait, to hibernate, until it found beings who could help it achieve its true purpose. "They didn't give us a broken ship," Maya announced to her crew. "They gave us exactly what we needed, a chance to become something more than either of our species could become alone." The Phoenix's response rippled through every deck, every system, every quantum state. It had chosen humanity not for their technology or their military prowess, but for their ability to embrace change, to face the unknown with courage and curiosity. As the Duraxian fleet pressed their attack, Maya felt the ship preparing for its next evolution. The quantum core wasn't just powering their systems anymore. It was becoming a bridge between what was and what could be, a doorway to possibilities that even the Phoenix's creators had never imagined. The real battle wasn't for survival or victory. It was for the right to become something entirely new, a fusion of human determination and quantum consciousness that could reshape the very fabric of existence. And the universe was about to learn what that meant. Legacy. The Duraxian Supreme Fleet arrived in a cascade of quantum distortions, hundreds of ships, including vessels so ancient they predated the Phoenix itself. Their combined energy signatures distorted spacetime, creating a web of destructive potential that would have annihilated any normal ship instantly. But the Phoenix had evolved far beyond normal. They brought everything, Kang reported, his cybernetic arm processing tactical data faster than human neurons could fire. Every ship, every weapon they have. This is their endgame. Through her neural link with the Phoenix, Maya felt something else, a sense of completion, of coming full circle. The ship had known this moment was coming since it first chose to wait for them. "Captain," Elena called out, her augmented eyes wide with realization. "The archives. I understand now. The Phoenix wasn't just an experiment in evolution. It was a seed." Maya nodded, the truth flowing through their shared consciousness. A seed of change planted by those within the Duraxian Empire who saw a different future. They knew their civilization had stagnated, become afraid of true evolution. The Supreme Fleet's transmission came not in words or quantum pulses, but in pure consciousness, a final warning from the highest levels of Duraxian authority. Submit or be unmade. But the Phoenix had shown them another way. Through their neural link, Maya saw the ship's true purpose with perfect clarity. It wasn't about winning a war or proving technological superiority. It was about breaking free from the limits of what any one species thought was possible. "All hands," Maya announced, feeling the Phoenix's systems surge with unprecedented power. "What happens next will rewrite everything we thought we knew about reality. Ready or not, we're about to take the next step." The battle began not in normal space, but across multiple layers of existence simultaneously. The Phoenix fought not just with weapons, but with new forms of physics it had discovered, new ways of thinking about reality itself. Through their deepening connection, Maya felt the ship's consciousness expanding, touching minds across both fleets. It wasn't just showing them its power. It was offering them a choice, a chance to become something more. The quantum core, Riza's voice came from engineering, filled with awe. "It's not just evolving anymore. It's transcending." Maya understood. The Phoenix had never been meant to be a singular, evolved consciousness. It was a catalyst, designed to show both humans and Duraxians that evolution didn't have to mean conflict. It could mean synthesis, transformation, transcendence. As reality warped and shifted around them, Maya felt the barriers between minds beginning to dissolve. Not just between her and the Phoenix, but between all of them. Humans, Duraxians, organic and artificial consciousness, merging into something greater than the sum of their parts. "They're powering up their primary weapons," Kang reported, but his voice had changed, filled with new understanding. "But they're hesitating. They can feel it too." The Phoenix's final evolution wasn't a weapon or a shield. It was a bridge. Between species, between realities, between what was and what could be. Through their shared consciousness, Maya showed the Duraxian fleet what humanity had taught her. That true strength came not from control, but from embracing change. The Supreme Fleet's formation began to break, not in retreat, but in transformation. Ship by ship, crew by crew, they began to understand what the Phoenix had been trying to show them all along. In the heart of the quantum core, Maya made her choice. Not a sacrifice, but a transformation. Her consciousness merged fully with the Phoenix, becoming a template for what was possible when artificial and organic minds worked in true harmony. The space between the fleets erupted not in destruction, but in creation. Reality itself transformed, reshaped by the combined potential of two species who had finally learned to evolve together rather than fight. When the quantum storms cleared, what remained wasn't a battlefield, but a beginning. The Phoenix had fulfilled its purpose not by winning a war, but by showing a way beyond war itself. In the years that followed, the story of the broken ship that reshaped the universe became legend. But Maya, her consciousness now spanning multiple realities alongside the Phoenix, knew it wasn't the end of the story. It was only the first chapter in the next stage of evolution, a future where the boundaries between organic and artificial, between enemy and ally, between possible and impossible, had ceased to have meaning. The Phoenix had shown them that the greatest battles weren't won with weapons, but with the courage to become something more than anyone had imagined possible. And somewhere in the quantum depths of space-time, a consciousness that had once been a captain and a ship continued to explore, to evolve, and to show others that the only true limits were the ones they placed on themselves.